I was at work when I received the phone call from the nurse at Dr. Welt's office, and I knew immediately that something was wrong. You know, the doctor's office doesn't usually call you at work. And after going through the 2 abnormal pap tests and then the biopsy, I was definitely concerned. What made things even more scary was that when I called my husband at home to tell him that I was on my way to the doctor's office, he informed me that the doctor's office had also called him already and asked that he be present with me in the office.
The doctor sat us down in his office and at first assured us, look, you know, we caught this early and we're going to deal with it. We're not behind the 8 ball yet. We have time to come up with a strategy.
Dr. Welt explained that the biopsy was in fact malignant, and he explained to me that the type of cervical cancer that I had was adenocarcinoma.
Adenocarcinoma is not real common. We frankly don't see a lot of it, but it's clearly an HPV-induced lesion. The fact is that adenocarcinoma is potentially a more deadly disease than squamous cell because it's harder to pick up. It requires an adequate endocervical sample as part of your pap smear, and it's a little surprising to see how often that endocervical component is missing in a pap smear. The HPV test is exquisitely sensitive for both types of cervical cancer. The squamous cell cancer, the common one, that's on the outside of the cervix, as well as the less common one, adenocarcinoma, or carcinoma of the inner portion of the cervix that Micheline had.
When he said the word cervical cancer, it devastated us. I remember we were very quiet.
And to be honest with you, I at that time didn't know much about cervical cancer other than the fact that Dr. Welt had told me that there now was a direct correlation between the HPV virus and cervical cancer.
I wanted to ask questions, but I couldn't get the words to come out.
One of the first questions he had asked us was whether or not we had any intentions to have additional children.
Well, we were planning to have another child. Our first child was in vitro, and we actually had eggs ready for another procedure.
He had explained that due to the leap cone biopsy that I had done, and the fact that there now was the presence of cervical cancer, that might be that hope may be extinguished for us. But he did suggest that we talk to a local oncologist.
I wanted to be strong for her, but my world had just exploded, and I needed to regroup.
I think he really believed that he was going to lose me.